Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 7 of What If Naruto Was a Prodigy and Awaken His True Potential. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode on this channel of What If Naruto Awaken Godly Red Lightning, and enjoy that guys. Over in the Making 3, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Dreamed to Surpass the Gods. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And also guys, over in the Making 2, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto. Learn all those Maki skills and techniques and enjoy that guys. And remember, for new, yes, I do have 3 channels: and Making 2 and Making 3, which I post What If on every single day. Links will be down in the description. Remember to turn on that bell notification. Yeah. Without further ado, what do you say we leap on into this new episode starts? The intro. So the last time we left off, Naruto awoken to see that the Forest of Death where he was in, his team was being attacked by the Sound Team. As Naruto got out there, Sasuke was in the process of defeating the Sound Team though. As when Sasuke put them down, those who begged to leave as he gave them a scroll, he took the others and ran for his life. However, Sasuke charged towards Naruto. As Naruto was confused what the hell was his problem. However, he was able to stop Sasuke by using his chains as he repressed him. He called out the other ninjas as Lee and the others came out from their hiding spot, as the other team also came out as well. As Naruto gave them the extra scroll that he had and told them to go ahead, as he remained behind with his team as he recovered, allowing Sakura time to sleep as well as she recovered as well. After which they made their way towards the tower. Arriving there with Karin as well, Naruto spoke to the others as he mainly spoke to Snedy about it. However, him and Snedy made a deal. Karin was confused what they were talking about. Until Snedy agreed to make her stay here. But she also gave Naruto a proposition as well. It seems that she was not well with the situation revolving around Kumo. That is why she wanted Naruto to find a way to seal at Jinchuriki. Yes, she was gonna make him place steel beasts at Karin and make her a biggie at Jinchuriki. As she sent her envoys to gather all of her supplies, everything regarding to her and her mother from the grass as well. As no one can tell them anything, after all, Snedy was in charge. Karin was rather reluctant as she didn't know. However, Naruto informed her that it would be alright. However, she trusted him 100% as he saved her and he was giving her a new life. As he just had to work on his seal now, however, Naruto had to take part in the preliminaries, where he faced off against Rock Lee. As Naruto and Rock Lee did not get along well, thinking about people being prodigies and not working. As that pissed Naruto off, Lee didn't know what the hell he was talking about. As the both of them fought. However, in the end, Lee was thrown towards a wall after an explosive clone slammed into him, as half his body was burned rather badly as he was rushed to the infirmary. As Naruto walked up the stairs, the time that it took him to get up there, it was all that he needed to heal up as he made his way. It didn't take too long after that. After the preliminaries were over, Naruto made his way as he started research on the seal. Jiraiya also came back in the village, as he felt a bit awkward going to visit the kid now. He arrived as Kakashi's younger daughter was there as well, as there was also a red-headed girl. Because of this, it reminded him so much of Minato and Kushina, and how Minato was there with Kushina and she being the redhead. And they also similarly have the same attitude. It was strange. However, Naruto looked nothing like neither of his parents, black eyes. And that here as well, he looked nothing like either of them. However, blood tests did not lie. He was their child. As Jiraiya came there, it seems that Naruto knew everything. However, he was much calm as Jiraiya told him a few things and showed him about the seal as well, which Naruto was happy to hear about. As Jiraiya promised, he also told him about his parents, saying that Naruto knew nothing about his parents. Meanwhile, the other clan heads were angry that none of their children got in the exam. Even Sakura got in. A non-clan child got in, a civilian. as Sakura had dominated her in a battle. So yeah, only person to get in on the clan side was Shino, as Shibe was proud of his son extremely. Sasuke on the other hand came up to the people that he knew so well, the ones at the bakery, as they were having a child. As Sasuke knew that Naruto's motives were going to be the death of Konoha, the things that he was planning to do and the way he said it, that he didn't care what it takes. Danzo on the other hand made a bet with Orochimaru, a deal of sorts, for him to get the Uchiha, and he would get what he wanted. However, Kakashi had driven the thought of being loyal to Konoha as a instinct for Sasuke, so Sasuke wanted nothing but the good of the village. The finals were set as Naruto would be facing off against Sasuke, Yujito against Neji, Shino against Sakura, and Karu against Kankuro, Doso against Gaara, and Temari against Amoy. Those were the finals that would be setting up. As Sasuke wasn't so sure about his chances, however, he will give it his all and make sure that he do his best. The couple was extremely proud of him. Sasuke liked them a lot, as he was willing to make sure that they survive and go through this and raise their family, as he wouldn't let anything happen to them no matter what. So yeah guys, it's basically as we left off. You guys can switch across the play, check out yourself, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. And also turn on that bell notification, stay posted, and yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into this new episode without wasting more time guys. You disgust me, you weakling filth. Jiraiya watched as the red-headed girl from Oza knocked the teeth out of a genuine boy. Apparently, she was being bullied, and she took matters in her own hands. When one of her bullies went crying to his brother, the girl put him and his brother in their place too. And she hadn't even graduated from the academy yet. She's amazing. Is that the Prodigy, Minato said. Oi, is she your girlfriend? Jiraiya asked with a tease. Minato went red as he spot her out and no. Maybe you should go introduce yourself. Jiraiya pushed him right over the guardrail. Sensei, he shouted as he crashed in the bushes right beside the redhead. That's cruel, Jiraiya, Tsunade said as she shook her head, as she tagged along with him, as she had made this clear this was not a date. Nah, kid's got guts. I don't mean getting him to ask out a girl that he likes. I mean you put him in Kushina's way. What? The redhead Kushina turned towards the bushes. More trash? Come out and face me. I'm not here to fight, said Minato as he stumbled out of the bushes, his white jacket covered in leaf. What do you want then? Her gaze was unrelenting. Will you go on a date with me? As he mumbled out his question rather quickly. Huh? She said, as he took a breath. Will you go on a date with me? Kushina looked dumbstruck at that. I don't think Kushina has ever been given positive attention from a male. That wasn't her father. But still, Kushina is not close to a normal girl, said Tsunade. Back on the ground, she was completely silent, as Minato had went pale, thinking that, well, she was going to turn him down. Fight me. If you're strong enough to beat me, I'll go on a date with you. Minato looked stunned, but he clearly liked her enough. If it means getting beaten up a bit, well, he will do it. Alright. Kushina beat him down. However, she was not disparaging like she did the bullies. You're not strong enough to date me, she said. But I like your courage. Minato wiped some blood off his chin as he looked up towards her, determination and fire in his eyes. I swear, I'll get strong enough, and I will go out on a date with you. Jiraiya slapped his face. Yep, he definitely get it from me, he thought to himself. Time skip. At the age of 17, as Jiraiya and Tsunade put bets on the two kids. However, things were different now. Minato's dedication to his training had made him a rather dangerous force. Even elite Jonins cannot compare. Jiraiya thought he was a bit sad that Kushina didn't have another love interest. Not even another single boy was brave enough to do what Minato wanted to do. However, since a couple of years had passed, the more he spent time with her, the more she started to like him. Jiraiya and Tsunade stood there as the battle lasted for a good 5 hours. Wind-style blasts off the concrete walls. Fire-style scorched the ground. Minato lightning and wind slashes leave scars in the arena. Kushina is fast, Minato is faster, as she threw up a barrier and prepared a final fire-style jutsu. However, Minato dashed towards the barrier with his brand new jutsu, the Rasengan, as he smashed it to pieces. And then, for the first time ever, Kushina landed right on her back. Her clothes was caked in clumps of dirt all over, as she was panting rather heavily. Her golden chakra chains lie on the ground all around her, her hair a mess. Minato has her the point of one of his signature kunai, however, he's still standing. His clothes are shredded and burned, his face is bruised, his wounded bodies on display. The place was in dead silence as he held his hand out to her. "Will you go on a date with me?" he said. Jiraiya held his breath as they all looked down. As she looked into his eyes, she held his hand. "Yes," she said. "That's my boy!" Jiraiya cheered. Back to reality. Karen had hearts in her eyes as she listened to Jiraiya's story. Wow, she looked overwhelmed as she had freckles of tears at the corner of her eyes. "That's the most romantic thing I ever heard in my life." Must be a Uzumaki thing, Jiraiya thought to himself, but he smiled at Karen's appreciation of his storytelling. As Naruto sat cross-legged, palm on his chin, his eyes curved up into an eye smile. Minako is asleep next to him, as she was in a purge of blankets and pillows. "No one's ever told me what they were like. Thanks, old man." Jiraiya would normally puffed up at being called old man, but he resigned to it. The story made him feel nostalgic about his relationship with Minato, and he realized he didn't really mind. As he ruffled Naruto's hair instead, there was a knock on the door. Minako's mother," Jiraiya said as Naruto nodded. "Yeah, we were just babysitting while she trained my teammate," Naruto confirmed. "I'll let her in on my way out," said Jiraiya as he patted Naruto on the shoulder. "Be ready tomorrow. I'm gonna put you through the paces if you want to learn Rasengan by the final stage." "I will. And thanks again." As Jiraiya slipped on his sandals and opened the door. "Jiraiya-sama," said Shizune. "She was a kid the last time he saw her." "Shizune," he said in surprise. That kid is yours?" The woman stammered slightly, "Yes. Minako is mine, and Kakashi's daughter. We live next door." "Well, I'll be damned, I had no idea. A guy like Kakashi having a kid. Looks like you both really did grow up." Shizune looked sheepish, but still proud. "Well, I'll be on my way. Say hi to the Kakashi brat for me, will you?" "Of course. Have a good night." As they parted ways. Meanwhile, Yujito was in bed. As she got her orders, "You are to kill Naruto Uzumaki. No matter the cost or collateral damage, we cannot have another Kushina Uzumaki sweeping the nations." However, Monotabe had a different option for her. "Yujito, please, listen to reason. You saw what that lunatic did to his fellow Konoha Shinobi," said Yujito as she remembered the fight. "If that is what they do to their own, what do you think he's gonna do when we fight?" "I was given an order. Kumo has sinned, at least. They don't treat their own people like that." As Monotabe sighed, "It will not be that way if you surrender voluntarily. Your home continues to drive itself to destruction by angering the sons of the sage. You do not understand the nature of man like I do. I have seen over millennia that peace is only a temporary thing. Kumo is like the phrase says, punching over their weight. Instead of guarantee that they exist, they're seeking to consume all around them. And it's gonna hurt them. They're manufacturing conflicts that they will not be able to walk away from. You defy your father's teachings. Kumo has collected you and the tools of the sages in order to bring peace to the world under one mighty rule," said Yujito. "Hypocrisy," said Inibe. "I do not agree with father's teaching anymore. Over the years I've come to understand that. But what you say is exact opposite. That is not the purpose its children and tools were created for. We were created so that we can harmonize with humanity and spread the word and religion of Ninshu to everyone in this world. To bring peace to cooperation, not domination. Those tools are only last resort to defeat those that will seek to destroy humanity, and know you use them for the opposite." "I am done listening to you," said Yujito. A sigh could be heard in her head. "Then this is goodbye, Yujito. You were my favorite Jinchuriki, but you have failed to acknowledge the world of what it is, instead, for what you want it to be. I wanted you to grow, but you will be another dead autumn leaf that feed the tree that is growing. Sage bloodline. I warn you," she said. As Yujito felt chills at hearing those words, and it was difficult to sleep. Meanwhile, at Konoha, "I wouldn't do that if I were you, kid. Don't so whirl around toward the giant of a man. He was planning to kill that sand boy. That boy was instrumental to the upcoming plan to destroy Konoha. His feelings were bitter about him and his teammates being thrown towards Sasuke Uchiha. After Orochimaru gave him the curse mark, he wanted Sasuke to use them as stepping stools, as pawns to be killed. However, as he turned around and came face to face none other than Jiraiya, if you want to get back at Orochimaru, I can think of a few better ideas. as those who looked up towards the man. Meanwhile, Jiraiya is nice, said Karin. Yeah, he seems alright, said Naruto, but he was clearly in thought, as Karin was resting her head against his shoulder. She was in pajamas. He gave her money to buy new clothes. What you thinking, she said. As she rubbed her eyes, she was wearing her glasses. I was fully prepared to betray Konoha to keep you, he said, as his voice sounded a bit conflicted. There are good people here though, like Jiraiya, my father, and my mother, the orphan matron. I was ready to turn away from that in order to protect you. I don't regret saving you, not even a little, but I can't help but feel like I'm in the wrong somehow. I was taught to treat Konoha as disposable, but I guess I've grown to like Konoha somehow. I made bonds, and I have not been betrayed by those bonds. Karin flicked him on the nose. Don't be a warrior wart, she said. It's like the story with your mother and father. You just need to prove yourself. The choices you make will be looked on better, if it's for everyone's benefit. Isn't that why you need to learn the Fuinjutsu scribble? Yeah, said Naruto as he leaned back. Then don't worry, she said. Just get, as she yawned, stronger as she snuggled up against his shoulder, as she fell asleep. He remembered how shinobis react to power. You can always have what you want as long as you have the strength to oppose anyone that stands against you. His Sharingan flared to life as he picked Karin up. With her in his arms, he looked down towards her face, memorizing her sleeping details. Having family is wonderful. He remembered that though. That quote. The matriarch had told him. From the orphanage, having family. Yeah, it is truly wonderful, he thought. Flashback to the past. Near Uchiha, delicately, pitted Tsunade's hair. The 10-year-old Senju looked up towards one of her role models. She spotted one pale white eye hidden under a curtain of purple hair. But why won't anyone tell me, Tsunade said, as she didn't understand why won't people speak of Konoha Boogeyman. Madara-sama was an enigmatic man, said Neri, but even as he grew distance away from us, he always has purpose in his heart. That doesn't mean anything, said Tsunade as she was frustrated, as Neri's lip twitched into a smile. Let me finish, dear, she said. Tsunade pouted as she sat next to her. The other Senjus said that she was mad to speak to a Uchiha, but Neri has always been a kind, nice lady. What I mean to say is that Madara-sama always had a reason to do something, as her face looked like she was reminiscing about the past. He was always a devil advocate, or the voice of reason as he used to call himself. He has a reason for everything that he did. It was either for his clan or for the village. As Neri looked down, he tried to tell us that the Uchiha clan was going to be discarded, and we need to save ourselves by fleeing this cursed prototype of a village and looking out for our clan. The Uchiha clan was too weary to listen, and they cast him away. Madara-sama left Konoha and us behind and attacked Konoha at the cost of his life. But that raised a strong question to anyone that knew what he was like. What possible reason could Madara-sama have to destroy Konoha? Perhaps he never wanted to destroy the village. Perhaps he attacked to send a message to us that he would murder his own life just to teach us a lesson. What lesson? Asked Tsunade. That perhaps he was right. Tsunade gulped. Someone dying on purpose helped their family? There is only one thing I want you to learn from me, honorable granddaughter. It is the nature of man to seek out the most beneficial outcome for anything they find important. People are willing to go far and beyond to do what they want to get the results of what they seek. The bright flame of that ambition can create an inferno, or it can be snuffed out in the darkness. It is through understanding this reality that you can make the best of it. Tsunade took that lesson to heart as she carried with her for decades. She sympathized with the Uchiha clan when they finally exploded after decades of segregation that they had in the village. The village that they helped created. Their nature had been suppressed for years. They desire a secure fate for their blood. With that being said, being separated from Konoha was slim in their chances. They would have eventually abandoned the village, which would have caused them to be hunted down as traitors. Or they could go up against the village and try to take it back by force. However, that would be a problem, as many of them would die in the process. However, one boy took all of that on his shoulder and decided to live with that burden. And that boy was Itachi Uchiha. Madara had told Naruto something before he had passed away, as Madara was the only person that would tell Naruto the truth about the Sharingan, about the village. Define yourself on your own terms. Never let anyone or anything force you to betray yourself. Uchiha is a state of existing. It is up to you to determine what kind of existence is that. At the day of the academy, the people had saw Sasuke and they greet him with smiles and happiness. However, some of them looked towards Naruto with a bit of distrust in their eyes. Reason being, they most likely know about his mother. The woman that puts her family, her child, before the entire village. Before the entire will of Konoha. Before the entire will of fire. When she sent away the Nine Tails instead of sealing it within her child. As Naruto looked towards them as they stare him down at the first day of the academy. However, there was a few people as the time progressed that he made bonds with, that they grew stronger. However, for the village, as long as his powers serve the great tree, his selfish tendencies will be indulged by them. But because he did not openly say that he would protect Konoha over all others, and given what his mother did, people sometimes saw him as an outcast, the one that wants something for himself that was above the will of fire. As Madara words ran through his mind when someone is not only dedicated to the system, they will not be treated well. Sasuke came to that realization as well when Haku had died. As he looked at Haku's dead body, he put his desire in one man. Those who change or betray their desire, they were destined for heartbreak, death, loneliness. Thus, when they were in the forest as Sasuke saw Karen cling to Naruto, when the girl removed her headband and tossed it aside, she was willing to betray her home for one boy, one distant family member. Instead of earning the support of your home, you leave it behind for the easiest solution. As when he looked at Naruto, he saw another Itachi in the making, someone that will cause death and destruction for their own selfish desire. As Sasuke knew that very well. Today was the finals as he stood in front of the mirror, his Sharingan looking into the mirror as he looked himself over. His clan crest was displayed proudly on the back of his shirt. He think about the wonderful people in his life who wouldn't be there if he wasn't a part of Konoha. Yuito, Himari, Kakashi, Sakura. The kind people that speak to him without conviction in the streets. Snavy, who was handled having people teach him how to be on his own. Konoha is full of kind souls that put others before themselves. This place cannot be allowed to fall. I'll end you if you dare to point your evil at my home, Naruto. As for Naruto, as he looked in the mirror, Karen cutely poked her head from behind him. She seen something she never seen before on him. The Sharingan. Whoa, looking good. I know, said Naruto with a smug look on his face. She poked her tongue out at him as she made her way and waited for him at the door. As Naruto felt like he was only fitting that he wear his Uchiha pride on the outside, his traditional black coat that reached down towards his knees, high collar with a black shirt underneath, dark grey pants, his shins wrapped up in bandages, as he threw on his headband that had new black fabric. He think about the people in his life that he need to be strong for. So long as he grows in power, Konoha is a tool. The tool to protect his loved ones. Yes, he would serve Konoha, but it's a means to an end. He would protect all that is precious to him. That is what he lived for, even against the entire world. At the stadium, the place was packed, full to the brim. The place was covered. After all, people were here to witness the events that were going to take place. Daimyos, young shinobis, tourists, everyone was here. But despite people being here to look forward to the exam, there was nothing but pure silence. Those with dojutsu can see it for themselves. The normal civilians were looking at the big screen, as they could see everything that was going on down there. Naruto and Sasuke stood opposite of one another. However, what they saw shocked them into pure silence. Both boys possessed a Sharingan. Sasuke was in the arena as he was shaking, shocked as he couldn't believe what he was seeing. As he looked at his opponent, who was calm and composed. I hope you're not going to shake in your sandals for your whole match, Sasuke. How is this possible? Who's your father? It's not my father where I get my Uchiha blood from. My mother was half and half. Her mother was a Uzumaki and her father was a Uchiha, who left this village a long time ago. Sasuke glared, thinking that it was a lie. Every Uchiha old enough to be your grandfather would have been hunted down by the village or the Uchiha clan for becoming a traitor. All but one. One too strong for the Uchiha clan. And one too cunning for the first Hokage to defeat completely. Hiruzen Sarutobi gripped the arms of his chair in shock. That's impossible. He looked up at the screen as he focused on Naruto's face. As it was similar. It was the same face and now with those eyes. It was unmistakable. What Hiruzen saw was the man that scared him as a child. Hiruzen-sama. He cannot think of a reply to his young clanmate. As Naruto's oppressive chakra was revealed right there and then, he released it all. Uchiha Madara. Faking your own death to get a chance to ruin us again. Your cursed blood plagued this village once again. Hiruzen says he glanced down there. Inside the Kage's boots, the moment of clarity hits Navi. The other Kages lean forward. Madara was truly powerful and sly enough to fool her grandfather. It's no wonder that her grandfather and Tobirama were in fear of the man. Naruto's behavior, power, appearance, it all come together and it finally made sense. Madara teaching culminated into one boy. Now I know why you kept it secret. As she understands that Madara must have enlisted a distrust in Naruto for Konoha, and now he has manipulated the public around him and become untouchable by factions that would try to obtain his power, openly making friends with civilians, defending people against the drunk, defeating the entire room of Jennings, killer intent on his own, proving himself as a trustworthy, dedicated shinobi of Konoha by scene, getting tutelage from Kakashi and Jiraiya. Most people are on his side, and if news gets out that someone was trying to suppress that power and keep it to themselves, Konoha would be up in arms to try to protect their new hero. And now the daimyos and lords are watching as well. Good grief, she thought to herself. Meanwhile in the stadium, I'll admit, Sasuke, you weren't my first opponent I wanted to fight down here. The power I want to use would kill you. The Jinchurikis up there have a better chance of surviving. I hope that this month has been kind to you. I still need to show off a bit. Sasuke glared. My resolve has become stronger. I won't let you win so easily. Knowing that Naruto was superior in taijutsu and the addition of Sharingan would make things a lot harder, Sasuke attempted to use his expanded repertoire of ninjutsu instead. Fire style. As he released a barrage of mini fires, he then flashed to the side and launched shurikens. As he went through handstand and multiplied all of those shurikens, as Naruto formed a few handstand before he breathed out a fireball that swallow and eviscerate Sasuke fireball. As he simply rushed through the air past in all of the shurikens, Sasuke leaped up to the wall as he ran up it. He summoned a Fuma shuriken as he launched it, tied it with ninja wire as he multiplied them, as he was now at a safe distance and he could glide them down towards Naruto. As Naruto looked Sasuke directly in the eyes, Sharingan, malfeasance, he said. Most genjutsus were applied suddenly, but not this one. This one was applied right out in the open. It had a singular function, to strip control of the victim's body instead of tricking them. The victim are aware that they are not in control of their body, but they are unable to stop it without a maximum effort of their mind. The Sharingan can see illusions, however, something attacking them from the inside would be incredibly hard to defeat. Sasuke's chakra control slips up, and he was struggling to stick to the wall. The shurikens whacked into a surface, the replicas, they all dispel. As Naruto rushed up the wall, Sasuke was able to throw off the genjutsu, however. It looked like it was really stressful on him, as he pulled away from Naruto's attacks. As Naruto chased after him along the arena wall, the spectators could see clearly what was going on. Sasuke was an intelligent, resourceful person. As he was trying to get away and use long-range attacks, however, Naruto was an unstoppable force in movement. Suddenly Sasuke pulled out a kunai with an explosive tag. He stabbed it behind him to slow down Naruto. However, Naruto tore off the tag and moved as he slapped it on the Hiyori that Sasuke was wearing. Sasuke heard the sizzle as he quickly removed the Hiyori. However, Sasuke brought his hands up together, mutual substitution technique, as he switched himself with a clone immediately. The clone had a matching Fuma shuriken as he launched it. As Naruto merely smiled, however he raised his hand, wind style, vacuum dive. The explosive tag and the clone and the Fuma shurikens were all blown away violently. The gust was nothing normal as it tore apart the arena wall, as it cracked and broke. Kakashi watched with the wide eyes the students duke it out. Everyone could be heard speaking about the spectacular showdown. Forget Chunin, these kids are Jonins. You can do it, Naruto. Go Sasuke-kun. I never knew that Uchihas were so gifted. The power of Uchiha, ninjutsu. Kakashi, Shizune asks, as Minako looked towards Naruto's new pretty eyes. Kakashi sensed the unspoken question. It will be alright, he said. The Sharingan. He was a Uchiha this whole time. He never gave us the slightest hint. Kakashi understood that Shizune might be upset at not knowing, as Naruto had had this secret for years now. The only thing could have been seen as a hint was the appearance, black hair and dark eyes. But still, somehow he was able to keep Akigenkai hidden from everyone. He was trained and taught how dangerous it would be to show off that power to the wrong people. It was rather unsettling to know that the young boy had the force and will to keep something like this to himself, and it made him question, did he really know Naruto all along? It wasn't a nice feeling at all to think that. Back down in the arena, Sasuke composed himself as long as he was able to keep a distance between him and Naruto. He'll be able to whittle him down. Too slow, he hear right next to his ear. He whirled around and swing at empty ear. Damn it. As he looked to see that Naruto was still on the wall, Genjutsu he spat, using Genjutsu on a wielder of the Sharingan to prove that their power is greater. It was quite the kick in the teeth, as he tried to make use of the distance that he had, as he created another technique, as he fired off several small fireballs. However, they were slower and with a less velocity, because he planned it that way. He kept on spitting them until most of his view was covered by it. He then spat out another jutsu that he stole from Naruto, using his Sharingan. Wind style. Passing Typhoon. His control over wind is weak compared to Naruto, however. The mixture of the wind with the fireballs increased the ferocity of the techniques. In an instant, each of the small fireballs became the size of a normal fireball, and given the number of them, it was massive. The only way he would be able to dodge this was to leave the arena, and he would be disqualified for that. However, Sasuke saw Naruto smile. You really are resourceful, Naruto thought. Sasuke was wise for making use of his Sharingan gift. There is no point in being able to copy jutsu if you're not going to use them. Naruto made the horse hand sign as he infused chakra in his lungs. I hope you can avoid this one, Sasuke. Karin sensed it immediately. I guess he mean business. The chakra that he was pumping out was nothing normal. It always amazed her how dense and powerful Naruto's chakra was. It was like he was a monster in human skin. What is he doing, Shizune asks, knowing the story of her similar sensory ability to Naruto's. Don't know. But whatever it is, it's gonna be huge, said Karin. Fire style. Majestic Destroyer Flame. This fire style is a fire style that would end any other normal fire style. As Naruto spewed flame from his mouth, it expanded and swallowed. It devoured Sasuke's attack like it never even exists. From the spectator point of view, it looked like nothing but raw death and destruction. The jutsu is so massive it would take at least 10 proficient water users to block it. No one could interfere or they would die. Sasuke had no time as he pumped as much chakra as he can. Earth style. Sasuke rose to a massive wall as the thing cracked on either side. However, he stood behind the flames that came out was nothing normal though. It took up a good quarter of his chakra. At the end of Naruto's jutsu, the wall fell, crumbling to pieces. However, he was safe. He could end it right now if he wanted to. The Kazekage Raza commented, this Naruto boy is letting Sasuke show off his own power, it seems. A bold move. Tsunade agreed with the assessment. To the trained eye, Naruto was making a statement in the gap's near abilities. If the person that is losing is this powerful, then how much power does the person that is controlling the fight possess? Two of the most powerful Genins that Konoha has ever seen. Tsunade is nearly rubbing her hand together at the impending contracts from the other nations. The Raikage made no comment, and the leader of the sound, who was wearing a veil, remained quiet. His face and body is covered, however he had made too much clumsy mistake for Tsunade not to know who this man is. You will get here soon enough, Orochimaru, she thought. Back in the arena, Naruto heard chirping as he looked down. Is that the Chidori? He has never actually seen it before. He only heard the stories. He never witnessed it on the bridge. Sasuke walked slowly before he clapped his hand together, causing the Chidori to spread to his other hand. As Naruto grinned as he jumped down and landed, Guy turned his gaze towards Kakashi. It's completely irresponsible to teach a genin a jutsu of that level. Kakashi was not having any of it though. You're one to talk. The 8 gates that you taught to Lee could have killed Naruto. There is no reason for you to be jealous of my talented genin. At least Sasuke has proven thus far that he's a loyal and dedicated shinobi to Konoha and its people. He could very well kill Naruto with that. Kakashi highly doubt that Sasuke was doing some extra training for him to just walk around the Shidori like that and also spread lightning to his other hand. However, Sasuke was able to master the jutsu within a month. There was no doubt that he was going to surpass him very soon. Naruto better have something up his sleeve that can match the technique. As Naruto smiled on the arena, the battle was just getting better. The dance was getting fun. Holding up both of his hands, two Rasengan formed, as they were large as the size of his head. The both of them started to walk towards one another, until they started to jog. Then they shot forward at high speeds. Rasengan and Chidori slap off each other. Sparks fly, as they tore and ripped apart the earth. Naruto Rasengan does not waver. As Naruto swings his left arm out loosely, Sasuke pulled back at the destructive ball. Sasuke made rapid jabs towards Naruto, so that he could ground himself as he stomped in the ground. It didn't take a genius to realize getting hit by any of these would be incredibly bad. Their wild swinging attacks looked clumsy, however, their Sharingan was hard at work, as they weave and dance around one another, as Naruto slid on the ground using wind to move himself like a disc around Sasuke. However, Sasuke flipped as he brought his hand up, tearing apart the earth, but Naruto rolled underneath it. As Sasuke leaped back, Chidori Nagashi, he said. A wave of lightning shot towards Naruto. Naruto slammed one of the Rasengans into the ground, causing it to explode outwards, the chakra and the debris violently, knocking away the lightning. Cheers erupted at display, however the both boys steadied themselves. The Rasengan in Naruto's right hand still glowed. Sasuke's other Chidori was chirping loudly. The both of them jumped as they slammed their techniques together. Their entire body was swallowed up by a dome. It became so dark it was unable to see through. The bubble of chakra then exploded outwards, ricocheting lightning everywhere. Karen jumped up. Naruto, she whispered. The place was so polluted with dense chakra she could not sense properly. My god, said Shizune, a hand covering her mouth. The dust started to settle as dark clouds became stormy all around, as the dense blue chakra started to rise up in the sky. When the smoke cleared, Sasuke looked worse for wear. But Naruto was uninjured once again, but he was breathing a bit deeper. I hope this is enough to end it, Sasuke says. He raised his hand at the thin web of lightning that is invisible as he reached up to the sky. That was the last of your chakra, said Naruto, as he recomposed himself. It will be wiser to surrender now than attempt anything else. You know me better than that, Sasuke said as Sharingan faded into the featureless black of his eyes. I do, said Naruto. Despite their disagreement, Sasuke admired Naruto's strength and will. He looked up at the sky that looked like it was about to rain at any moment. This was perfect for his technique, natural lightning that he would control. The jutsu was not completed, but it should be enough. Thunderclap! A massive bolt of lightning shot from the heavens as it slammed down on Naruto. As Naruto sensed the thing coming, he could have moved out of the way. However, he respected Sasuke to come this far without even using that curse mark, to compose himself even after finding out that he was a Uchiha as well, and to fight him to the end, to create and master these terrifying jutsu, and to make use of these gifts without restraint. Yes, he deserved it. Sasuke deserved to be defeated by the pinnacle of the Uchiha power, as Naruto's eyes shifted into the Mangekyou. Susanoo! The lightning struck as everyone saw that, as some of them believed that Naruto was dead by that attack. However, they saw a pair of golden eyes in the cloud. Something blue and massive started to form. Yasaga, Megatama, several blue blurs shot from the cloud. Sasuke tried to dodge, but one of them slammed into him as he hit the wall and coughed up blood. He tried to reach up and call for another bolt, however, the chakra died out on his hand. An inhuman growl came from the massive beam. Sasuke tried to choke back his fear as best as he could. He pulled a cone out of the wire and lined it with explosive tags. He threw it desperately at the shrouded figure. As the explosions were loud, however, they had no effect on the construct. The construct raised what to be an arm and it sprouted a blade. It waved its arm as all the dust was dissipated as it sent a shockwave towards Sasuke. Sasuke leaped with all of his strength to get out of the way as he looked towards his beam of chakra. The thing was 7 stories tall, a skeleton humanoid massive creature. Ominous yellow eyes from that skull. Horns that would have come from his hairline. Nearly there, said Naruto as he clenched his fists, his hair whipping around wildly. Muscle and skin wrapped around the Susanoo. The head came over and swallowed it. Like some kind of helmet. Horns and 2 arms on each of his shoulders as well. Sasuke trembled as he looked at the terrifying monster as it lighted up the dark arena. Mangeto Sharingan. Who did you murder to get this power? Sasuke asked fearfully. The mark on his shoulder shot pain through his body. Not now, he said to it. I didn't murder anyone to obtain this power, Sasuke. My grandfather made the ascension for me. Black flame pattern came from Sasuke's mark. He tried his best to suppress it, however. Without his chakra to do so, he could not. Rage and hate filled his mind. It was not his, however. The mark affected his mind too much. As he went through hand sign once again. Shidori! As Naruto frowned as Sasuke slammed Shidori into Naruto's Susanoo. But nothing happened. As Naruto looked into his eyes. You're my family, Sasuke. So let me help you with a bit. Tsukuyomi. Sasuke awakened in a realm of pure white. He's uninjured, and his curse mark was not affecting his mind. Welcome to Tsukuyomi, Sasuke. This is a world of Genjutsu, which I control everything that you can perceive. Sasuke turned around calmly. I have been this victim once before. My brother used it to show me how he murdered the Uchiha clan. Then you may understand a piece of its potential. It's not a torture jutsu. It's the most flexible genjutsu. With this, we have some time to speak privately. You have much to learn about the nature of the Sharingan and how I came to be. The surrounding era changed as Sasuke saw a man that looked almost identical to Naruto shake hands with the first Hokage. Like all genjutsu, Tsukuyomi implants chakra into the victim. It's like a timer, and once that timer is used up, the genjutsu will be released. If I cancel the jutsu early, however, some of my chakra will remain behind. Since it is not yours, it will be eaten up by your body very quickly. I will finish this so that my chakra will overcome the curse mark. After that, it's back in your hands. In the real world, Sasuke collapsed in a faint as the curse mark receded back to its normal form as Naruto's Susanoo disappeared. You are worthy of the Uchiha name, Naruto said as he looked down towards the unconscious child. The proctor leaped down from his safe hiding spot. Winner! Uchiha Naruto, he said. Tsunade watches the uninjured Naruto follow the medics that took Sasuke away to the infirmary. Mangeto Sharingan, she thought. That is not easy to control, and yet Naruto had flaunted it like it was child's play. Hiding the Sharingan is a bit unnecessary. Hiding the Mangetos are different thing altogether. He has made a statement today. He has shown that the Uchiha clan is not that easily defeated, and that the cursed blood runs strong. She turned towards the Kazekage. Well, that was quite the open match. She kept the smugness to a minimum. Indeed, Raza said, I would hazard to guess that those boys are far above what a Chunin would be actually capable of. That Naruto won even more so. And you, Raikage, she said, questioning the man that has been quiet so far. A frown, not giving anything away, rather than annoyance. The day is still young. Kumo still has time to show his perspective. Of course, it's Natty. It's not every exam that a Jinchuriki competes, as she happily gave away the fact that she knew about Yujito Jinchuriki's status. The Raikage brow twitches, however, he said nothing more. Down in the arena, Yujito versus Neji, please come forward. Meanwhile, Dosu made a signal as he took off his headband and replaced it with one of Konoha. It was to show the Sound Ninjas that he now stands with Konoha and for his teammates to do the same. As Jiraiya noticed as he moved over towards Karen as he tapped her on the shoulder. That's our cue. Time to go. Down with Yujito as she was walking onto the field. She bit her lip as she watched him walk away with the medics. Her task was clear, but she didn't know about the increased security in the stadium. The signal was set to come any minute now. She can't afford to let the opportunity slip up to destroy the Uchiha. I surrender, she said, as she leaped through the contestant box entrance. Hayate nodded as he summoned the next contestant despite the roaring boo. Shinobu Barame versus Sakura Haruno. Meanwhile, in the medic bay, Amaterasu, said Naruto. Black flames implode on Kabuto's body as he screamed in agony. The other medics cringed at the volume, but they work on pushing their chakra into Sasuke's body. Jiraiya-sama was right. One of them tried to keep cool, that the spy had been in plain sight all along, as Naruto did not let them ponder it for too long. Keep moving, unless you want to fight a Jinchuriki in this enclosed space. You know the plan, Sasuke and I are the bait. Once we're out in the open, you four will return to the medical station and prepare for more injured Konoha Shinobi. Right, the medic said, as they got to work healing Sasuke up. If he had paid closer attention, he would have noticed that the face of Kabuto's corpse had shredded and revealed an already dead Anbu that was burned in the Amaterasu flames. Outside, the Genjutsu is placed on the stadium. Tsunade turned her head towards Raza. The both of them gave one another a sly smile. It seems that Orochimaru understood that he had no time left. 10 sound tunings tried to follow the Sand Genins. Their only orders was to agitate Ichiba enough to make it go on a rampage. They did not notice the bells that were on the arena wall. The bells started to bang and they all were paralyzed. As someone leaped up in the air, they gripped their ears in pain and agony as their senses were being override. Zenkuha, a voice shouted. Two brutal ear shockwave came down and shredded the skin off their bones, killing them instantly, all of them, lying down in a bloody death bath. The stadium dissolved into a bloody skirmish as the Genjutsu knock out the civilian and daimyo populace. Sakura and Shino are accosted by the other two competed Kumo Genins. Sound Shinobi moved to back them up. With so many skilled Jonin, it had become an impossible task though, as Guy and Kakashi leaped to their defense, as they held back every single ninja that tried to attack Sakura and Shino. Sakura, Shino, get out and assist the evac teams. We will hold things down here, said Kakashi. Right. As Sakura nodded, took Shino and ran up the walls of the stadium. Meanwhile, Orochimaru and the Raikage moved towards the rooftop with Tsunade and Raza in pursuit. They came to a stop. I see that you're somewhat prepared for this. My dear teammate, Orochimaru said as he shed his disguise. He was under the sound veil after all. And you haven't learned that mistake against Konoha will always come back to bite you. You're gonna die today, Orochimaru, she said. All of your ambition was shown as fuel to show the world that Konoha is undefeatable, she said. Oh, you will find that I have a few tricks under my sleeves, Tsunade, he said. A purple barrier erupted around them as the roof is submerged further into darkness. Edo Tensei! 3 coffins rise up. They read first, second, and fourth. The coffin lids open, and 3 perfect puppet copies of the deceased Hokages fell out. Raza noticed that the fourth here was just a mop dipped in yellow paint. As he chuckled, golden dust swirling around him. My boy, you seem to have quite a talent in puppetry. Orochimaru's eyes went wide at this development, confused. As Tsunade grinned, that's the problem with betraying your subordinates. They return to bite you in the ass. Meanwhile, as Naruto sent the Kumo ninjas in pursuit through the streets, Sasuke was hobbling, but conscious. He was still not in fighting condition, but they still need to rendezvous with Karin and Jiraiya. Sasuke's chakra had been restored back to full, knowing that his ninjutsu would be better than his taijutsu. A dojutsu wielder, you know what to do. One of the 5 Jonin, as they went through their anti-dojutsu protocols. Keep going, said Naruto to Sasuke. All 5 Kumo Jonins flashed through hand sign. Lightning release. As they made the entire area lit up in a bright light, trying to block out his eyes. As the civilians were being evacuated, he knew that they wouldn't be able to sense anything around them. He slammed his hand on the ground, earth style. A wall of earth erupted. At their end, there was massive dragon heads on it. However, the Jinchuriki of the Navy arrived. Sooner than expected that she landed, he ducked. As he swept her on her attacks, as he noticed her eyes were different. Her right eye was yellow and her left was green. As he can feel the Nibi's chakra cycling through her, quicker than before. Her attacks are vicious and deadly. You're going to die here, Uchiha boy, she said. She's after him. That means he can take her away from the evacuation pathways. However, the Jonins behind the wall that would try to disrupt his sight. The earth wall started to crumble. As that catch them both by surprise, it dissolved until it was nothing but sand. The sand moved a will of its own and swallowed up the Kumo Jonins. As the sand crushed together, the Kumo ninjas dropped out, their bodies mangled and crushed. Ichibai Jinjulki, Naruto counted himself lucky for the intervention. He jumped to the roof as he moved. She pumped the Nibe chakra through her body as she was able to actually keep up with him. He must seal the Nibe, and with as few casualties as possible, as he leaped away from giant blue fireballs. Full squads of Sound and Kumo Jonins tried to halt him, however. He burned them with his flames and swatted them down with a Susanoo fist. He was at the halfway point. Boom! What the hell? As Shinobi erupted from the tiles and started to fire bone projectiles towards Naruto as he flipped out of the way. Meanwhile, Karen could sense Naruto chakra getting agitated. He was getting angry. But she and Jiraiya were tangling with giant snakes. Old man, she called out. Jiraiya made hand signs, and next thing she knew, she was high in the air, and the snake was now crushed under a massive toad that she stood on. 4 more giant snakes appear as she spotted Sound Shinobi trying to bring out as much as they could, as they were using a massive sealing array. We're stuck, she said, as she was grabbed by Jiraiya as he slid down the back of the toad. She felt Jiraiya chakra swell, summoning jutsu as 2 other massive toads appear. I'll leave it to you, said Jiraiya, as he picked up Karen and rushed off, leaving the toads to clash against the snakes. Tell me where he is. That way, said Karen, as she felt Naruto chakra intensifying. Meanwhile, Naruto was stuck right in the center. He could feel the Kaguya chakra growing immensely, just like when Sasuke used the curse mark. And also Yujito, he could feel her wrenching the chakra away from the Biju inside of her. Chains erupted from his back as he sent them towards his opponents. Yujito flipped away with her cat-like agility. The Kaguya pinned down his chains using his bones, as he was now rushing towards him. Wind style, Deitapa, as Naruto launched the attack towards Yujito instead of Kimimaru. She was forced back, however she stabbed her claws in the ground. The head of Naruto chain came around like a dragon and plucked the bone out of the ground and launched it back towards Kimimaru. However, he dodged right underneath it. Kimimaru looked up as he saw Naruto in front of him. Rasengan in hand, he raised his bones. However, the Rasengan smashed right through it. He was forced to create more out of his ribs to put more defenses between him and that destructive jutsu. The Rasengan connected with his rib bones and blast him across the roof. Yujito leaped as his back was turned, however he dropped low as her claw whipped over his head. As she twisted her body and launched another set of claws down towards his face. However, Naruto planned this perfectly. His eyes looked directly in hers, casting her under a genjutsu. The Nibi's chakra was able to break her out a second, but it was a second too late as his chain wrapped around her, suppressing her chakra. Kimimaru came back as he tried to hit Naruto while he was distracted. However, Shidori! Sasuke forced him to leap away. Do it, Naruto! Sasuke shouted, keeping Kimimaru occupied. Burning kanjis form on the tips of Naruto's fingers. Gasho Fun, he said, as he pushed his finger on top of Yujito's seal and he halted the flow of Biju's chakra. She keeled over in agony as her eyes returned back to their normal state, as she fainted on the spot. Yujito, her Jonin leader, appeared on the scene, but Naruto had enough of the interference. Uchiha barrier, he said. A huge fiery barrier separated Sasuke, Naruto and Kimimaru and Yujito away from the rest of the village. Sasuke, keep the Jinjulki safe. I'll handle the Kaguya. Right, Sasuke said as he let Ishidori sputter out to conserve his chakra. As Sasuke picked up the Jinjulki and moved to a safe spot to hide. Damn it, Sasuke heard cursing from outside the barrier. I knew we should have brought B. Everyone, work on taking down this barrier and kill Yujito so Konoha doesn't obtain the Nibe. As for Naruto, he overheard the Roe and he moved, holding back nothing. Susanoo, he said, as a ribcage formed, as it had 2 massive blades in its hands, slicing through the yard of bones that came rushing towards him, as bones spike up everywhere. Kimimaru's entire being became covered by the curse mark. As he pulled out his literal spine and swung it, it slammed against Susanoo, cracking it, as it had enhanced his body to an insane degree. Amaterasu. Black flame burned at everything. Kimimaro howled in pain, however he does not cease. He sheds a layer of bones from his body, letting the black flame fall off him. However, that just dipped his reserves a lot. "You're persistent," said Naruto as he landed. "It's Susanoo appearing and growing." "And you're an obstacle," said Kimimaro, blood flying from his mouth. Naruto brought down the blades. Kimimaro tried to block with his bones. He was already weak from shedding half of his chakra, so when they came down he was forced to his knees. As Naruto backed off, the Kaguya was awarded death. "Come," he said. Kimimaro charged forward, allowed back a cry, as Naruto severed him in half. Back up with the barrier. A is not an adept sensor, but he could sense Nibi chakra disappearing. "Orochimaru, drop the barrier," he said, as he was assaulted by Snad's relentless punches. The snake saw in turn as he saw Hiruzen stand outside of the barrier, battle armor and mine in hand. "We're both dead if we do that," Orochimaru said, as he pulled the Kusanagi blade and launched it towards Snaddy. However, she caught it. She whipped her hand to the side, forcing Orochimaru to swing around. The right Kage launched towards Snaddy, however, golden dust slammed him into the ground, rather roughly. A poof went off a distance away, as a rare summon popped up. Orochimaru smirked. It seems that Danzo has too much in stake not to act. Hiruzen turned his gaze as he saw the summon, recognizing immediately who it came from, as he abandoned his watch over the barrier and made his way rather quickly. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm off for now, see you guys soon. Peace.